Is it Leia or Leia? Is it Millennium Falcon or Millennium Falcon? What's going on, guys? James here, and welcome back to another chapter in the Star Wars Rewind series here at Real James. Now, if you're wondering who that is, that's me. And if you're wondering what this is, Star Wars Rewind is me going through each and every Star Wars episode from 1 all the way to The Last Jedi, leading up to The Rise of Skywalker on December 20th. So you don't want to miss out. Go ahead and hit the big red button below and subscribe to the channel. Tap the bell right next to it so you don't miss any new episode of Star Wars Rewind. And share this video with all your friends in the galaxy. Like it, and in the comments below, let me know where A New Hope, or Episode 4, to be technical, ranks for you in this Star Wars franchise. And if you've missed out on any previous Star Wars Rewind episodes, in the description below, you'll find links to each and every episode up to this point. Alright guys, I'm ready to talk about Episode 4, A New Hope. Man, it's my childhood. That's my childhood dance. That's my happy dance, actually. This is where it all began for Star Wars and my love for this franchise. Back in 1977, George Lucas both directed and wrote this movie, and trust me guys, no one really cared for it too much when it came out in theaters. It didn't do that well, but it gained a cult following and did great on home video sales, and eventually sparked something like we've never seen before. Now, this particular episode deals with Luke Skywalker and basically him learning the Force and exactly what he's up against with Darth Vader, someone who wants to literally take over the entire galaxy. Oh boy. And along the way, he meets some friends, Han Solo and Princess Leia, or Leia. Dang it. And together they have to work to destroy the Death Star, something the Empire is going to use to destroy every single planet in the galaxy. So I'm gonna keep it real with you. I watched this on Disney Plus, and that includes the special edition version, so there's a lot of CGI instead of practical effects, and it is a little weird seeing Jabba the Hutt slither along and looks a little too real compared to the rest of the movie. Now, that's just one of many examples where I didn't like the special editions. I've seen the despecialized editions, and they're great, but I actually still enjoyed some of the different editions that George Lucas played around with. I mean, not all of it was great, but for the most part it was fine. So let's get into what I loved about Episode 4, and immediately from the opening crawl, let me tell y'all, there's this like rush of nostalgia I rarely get from movies and TV shows nowadays, and Star Wars is probably the exception because boy, every time I put on the original trilogy, there's something inside of me that just feels like a kid again. And what I love so much about this original trilogy, honestly, is that I'm transported into the exact moment where I watched this movie. I mean, I remember things like seeing the X and Y wings for the first time and wanting to go to Toys R Us and buy myself those models because I wanted to use them and play in backyards with my friends. It was just such a huge movement for me as a kid, and it sparked my imagination too, because there's a world out there that I never thought imaginable, and the effects I saw with the lightsabers and everything, it just really crushed me as a kid in the best way possible. Now, this is also one of the first films of my childhood that I really learned the gravity and the weight of a good villain. Darth Vader, oh my goodness, he was so sinister, and he actually kind of scared me as a kid, and a huge credit goes to James Earl Jones because his voice is legendary. Now, on the flip side of things, you have a character so pure, innocent, and selfless, and that's Luke Skywalker, and that's a huge testament to Mark Hamill's ability to own this role. Look, it goes without saying, he's one of the best actors of our generation, of my generation, but the guy is aces in this movie. I actually learned a great deal about sacrificing my time to help others from this character, so it had made a huge impact on my life. And then you have your gang of rebels led by Han Solo and Chewbacca, and both of them are fantastic. Peter Mayhew as Chewbacca, I met him at Florida SuperCon years ago. Guy is amazing, you know, I'm always gonna remember what he did for Star Wars and sci-fi in general. And then you have Harrison Ford as Han Solo, and trust me, he's literally the only person I could see play that role. He's slick-tongued, he's got so many nice one-liners, and I love exactly the balance he brings to the group. And then eventually the story introduces Carrie Fisher's character, Princess Leia, and I'm gonna put an exclamation point on this. This performance was really special. She set a standard for me because I'd never seen a female hero pick up a rifle and blast stormtroopers before. Now, I was like 10 or 11 years old when I first watched A New Hope, but it set a standard. And it was really cool to just see what she did with the character, and really she, again, owned it, just like Mark Hamill owned his performance. And I know we're going down the list of actors here, so I have to mention the bad guys too. Peter Cushing as Tarkin. Let me just say, I know Darth Vader's really sinister, but it almost felt like Tarkin was even more evil than Darth Vader. Okay, so outside of the acting and all the performances, let me tell you something about this score. Now, I know, John Williams, we love him. He's regarded one of the best composers of all time, but seriously, rewatching this movie, movie made me remember exactly why I think he's the best composer of all time. The guy is outstanding. The way he just kind of brings you into a moment, and it's almost seamless, the transitions between different big scenes. He just kind of gets you in the mood to be able to receive what it is that George Lucas is bleeding onto the screen. And I know I mentioned the practical versus CGI effects earlier in this review, but honestly, practical effects are amazing. I think that they're way better than CGI. In this film, it proves why practical effects reign king. So yeah, I'm gushing over A New Hope. You know I love episode 4 so much, but there were little things, minor gripes, that held it back from being a very perfect film. Before they get to Mos Eisley, I made a note here that it seemed the scenes were getting meshed together. I almost had no natural jumping off point from one moment to the next, probably because, yeah, white fades, legendary, they're good. It just seemed there were too many things going on at once very quickly, so I never really sat with certain moments. And another negative that's kind of just, it's very tiny, guys. I don't hate this. Whenever there was a blaster fight, whenever blasters are fired at all, it seems like there's this white flash on the screen, and I don't know why George Lucas had to add that, because it's actually kind of annoying. Like, I just want to see a clean fight, but every time I get a bright flash, I have to blink a little bit harder, and I'm like, chill, chill. But outside of those two little negatives, A New Hope is basically a perfect sci-fi film. But not only just that, I think it's a great jumping off point for young fans within the franchise. Yes, it's the best film I've watched on the Star Wars Rewind so far, no question. I just can't wait to get into Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, because the original trilogy, for me, it really is an experience comprised of life-changing moments. I mean, guys, this isn't just a movie, it's a movement. And that's what A New Hope did. It sparked something unlike anything we've ever seen before. Alright guys, so those are all my feelings and emotions on episode 4, A New Hope, after rewatching it, I don't know, maybe like for the 100th time. If you guys enjoyed everything you just heard and saw, go ahead and hit the big red button below and tap the bell so you get notified each time I drop something new. Like this video, share it with all your friends in the galaxy, and in the comments below, let me know what you thought of episode 4. Is it your favorite of the original trilogy? And make sure to stay tuned to the channel, because Star Wars Rewind takes us into episode 5, Empire Strikes Back. It's one of the best sequels of all time for a reason. Alright guys, so until next time, I'll catch you at the next screening. Why am I doing this dance? It's like my happy dance. Probably because I just watched a really good film. Siri, say Millennium Falcon.
That may be beyond my abilities at the moment.
Not even Siri knows how to pronounce Millennium Falcon. My gosh.